All right, we're gonna get right into it. Man, that was a good time. That was a good time. That really was a good time. Surprising moments, everything in between. It's a good show. Proud of him. Proud of the man. Anyway, what's up, y'all? Hope y'all doing good. I'm Anthony K. Thomas from Wrestling with Rumors, and this is a results show for Night of Champions. As you can tell, I am wearing a Sami Zayn t-shirt. You probably know why I'm wearing the Sami Zayn t-shirt. But let's get into it. So before I get started, I just want to state that, as I've stated multiple times before we got to this moment of Night of Champions, that how I expressed my feelings of Night of Champions being in Saudi Arabia. Nothing against Saudi Arabia. I stated what I stated because of what the current situation in the world is right now, with a war that's still going on, and how it is not safe, and how it's not safe to travel to the Middle East because of it. And my concern was the talent and everybody who works for WWE that was going to be traveling to Saudi Arabia for this event, and hoping that they would be safe getting there and being safe coming home. That looked right. From what they were showing as far as the aerial videos across Saudi Arabia, everything looked good. Everything looked as usual. But, looks can't be deceiving, but it was what it was, and everything looked good. Everyone was safe. Everyone seems to be safe coming back. So we're moving forward on that. And one other thing I want to mention, for an event that's called Night of Champions, it is a bit disappointing that for an event that's called Night of Champions, an event that you would assume every single championship would be on the line, that wasn't the case. It usually hasn't been the case as of recently. There used to be a time when this event, Night of Champions, when it would happen in the early 2000s, and a bit in the middle of the 2000s, like in the teens, that when an event like this would happen, every championship was on the line. That doesn't seem to be the case as of in recent years. But nonetheless, as the song goes by a group called the Blue Travelers. But anyway, so up first was the King of the Ring finals. Now, both the King and Queen of the Ring finals, those were the first two matches that we're seeing on ESPN. But we're going to get into this one first. King of the Ring finals, Jey Uso versus Oba Femi. Now, going into this match, I think I believe I wasn't the only one who was thinking this, but going into this match, a lot of people believed at some point during this match we were going to see Brock Lesnar, and something was going to happen, like with the ref, that would leave the ref knocked out, or in some other way of just knocked out or something, where he wouldn't see when Brock Lesnar would jump into the ring, would get into the ring, lay Oba Femi out, leaving it open for Jey Uso to capitalize, hit an Uso splash, get the win. That is not the case. The King of the Ring finals was a clean, no shenanigans match. And honestly, I was wrong. A lot of us were wrong, because a lot of us saw Brock Lesnar showing up and saw that was the way of how we get to Brock Lesnar versus Oba Femi 3. But a lot of us were wrong. And Oba Femi, in what was a solid back and forth match, Oba Femi wins this match, becomes King of the Ring, and has his choice of a champion. Now, I'm going to make a prediction on who I think Oba Femi will pick, but I will make that after we get to everything else. So, Oba Femi is our King of the Ring, and, makes sense, the ruler. Is now the King of the Ring, and will have his choice of the WWE champion or the World Heavyweight champion. Up next was the Queen of the Ring finals, Io Sky versus Liv Morgan. This was another good match between these women. No surprise, Io Sky on one corner, Liv Morgan on the other corner. These two women are very good in what they do in the middle of the squared circle. So yes, this was a good match. And towards the in the middle of this match, Io Sky was going for a high fly. Liv Morgan was set in the right position to push Io Sky off that top rope. And how Io Sky landed, she landed on her feet, but her knee felt like it bursted a little bit. And she felt that pain and fell right down. And I think a lot of people, including myself, were thinking, oh no, this looks familiar, because it did. It was like the semifinals match between Liv Morgan and Charlotte Flair, and when Charlotte Flair's knee was hurting through that entire match, and Charlotte Flair lost that match. So it felt a little familiar in that way. But Io Sky is a warrior, and she fought through the pain. God knows how painful that knee was feeling while she was going through that match. But Io Sky fought through that pain and came out the victor in becoming the queen of the ring. That was a solid, good match, and didn't waste any time with the crown in her hand. Tells Liv Morgan that she will see her at SummerSlam. So our first match confirmed for SummerSlam, Io Sky versus Liv Morgan for that Women's World Championship. Hell yeah. Now, I think it was a little bit easier for Io Sky to make that choice, not just because because her other choice would have most likely been Rhea Ripley, but because with Rhea Ripley still out with her knee injury and things are left in the air whether or not Rhea Ripley will be able to be cleared in time for SummerSlam, I think the choice of having Io Sky versus Liv Morgan was a much easier choice to make, because there's one champion that is not hurt, that is cleared, that is champion, that has yet to defend her championship, versus another champion in the WWE Women's Champion who is hurt, who it has a giant question mark around her whether or not she'll be cleared in time to compete at SummerSlam. And if she's not, then she'll have to relinquish that title. A tournament of some kind might have to be made, where either there is a tournament where women will fight to either enter into a fatal four-way match at SummerSlam, and the winner of that fatal four-way becomes the new WWE Women's Champion, or you have a tournament where you get two women who win, two number one contenders, and those two will face off at SummerSlam for the WWE Women's Championship. It's all unclear how that's going to work. So yes, easy for Io Sky to pick Liv Morgan. Round 2, this time, Women's Championship on the line, SummerSlam. Hell yes. Up next, Seth Rollins versus Braun Breaker in a steel cage match. This was it. This was it between these two. Whoever wins, it's done, it's finished. And this match was brutal. This match was brutal. But before we get to the brutalness of this match, before this match started, both men, Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker, when they made their entrances in bringing weapons into the ring. Kendo sticks, steel chairs, tables, and garbage cans. All brought this stuff into the ring, surrounding the ring. They get in the ring. They're both in the ring. They're sitting across from each other in the steel chairs. Seth Rollins is barking at Braun Breaker, and then they go. And they don't stop. It got brutal. It got brutal, and it got a little bloody. But when it was over, when the dust settled, when the bell rang, when the music was playing, it was Seth Rollins. But take nothing away from Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker showed us a lot in that steel cage match. No surprise. But damn, it was a bit of a bloody match. And I'm only saying bloody because Braun Breaker was just gushing from his eye. But Seth Rollins wins, and the question becomes for Seth Rollins, what is next for Seth Rollins? Well, Seth Rollins has to wait, is kind of waiving his options, because right now he does want that world championship back, a championship he never lost, but he's waiting to see what Oba does as far as what decision Oba makes and who he's going to face for the champion. But I really believe that what's next for Seth Rollins is still within the vision, and it's a returning Bronson Reed. Now, we're expecting Bronson Reed back sometime between July and September. I believe Bronson Reed will be, based on how he looks, I think he'll be clear. It's any moment, it's any time now for Bronson Reed to be cleared. And I think, and I not only think, but I believe Bronson Reed will be cleared in time for SummerSlam. And I believe that is who Seth Rollins will have to deal with next, will be Bronson Reed. But we will see how it all plays out for Seth Rollins in the coming weeks. Up next, Trick Williams versus Ricky Sainz for the United States Championship. This was a solid match from both Sainz and Williams. They left it all in the ring in this match. There was early on in this match, Ricky Sainz was channeling his inner Eddie Guerrero and using a kendo stick, hitting the steel steps, throwing the kendo stick at Little Yachty, and then falling down in classic Eddie Guerrero form, getting Little Yachty kicked out of the match, making the ref think that Little Yachty hit Ricky Sainz with the kendo stick. So the match becomes one-on-one, no outside interference. Even with all that back and forth, Trick Williams retains his United States Championship, continuing on with the summer of Tricky Williams. But take nothing away from Ricky Sainz. He is a hell of a talent, hell of a pro wrestler. He will be holding a WWE main roster championship gold in his near future. I believe it. I see it for him. Up next, Jade Cargill versus Tiffany Stratton for the Women's United States Championship. This is a rivalry renewed. The last time these two faced off against each other was with the championship on the line, was for the WWE Women's Championship. And in that last championship match, it was Jade Cargill that came out the winner in that match. However, this time around, as soon as the bell rang, no time was wasted. They went for it, and they went hard, knowing each other very well. They had counter moves for everything that they were throwing at each other. It was a good match. And then midway through the match, you see Michin and B-Fab showing up in this match, giving a little assistance, a little boost for Jade Cargill to ensure her victory and becoming the new United States Women's Championship. But no. Here comes Chelsea Green, not long after B-Fab and Michin show up to help, to give some assistance to Tiffany Stratton and ensuring Tiffany Stratton's victory. But Jade Cargill pulls Chelsea Green in the ring, distracting Jade Cargill just enough for Tiffany Stratton to get her bearings together. As Chelsea Green gets taken out by Jade Cargill, the championship is now in the ring. Jade Cargill sees that championship, goes for it, but then it's grabbed by, what do you know, Charlotte Flair. Here comes Charlotte Flair and hits Jade Cargill with that championship. Down goes Jade Cargill. Tiffany Stratton capitalizes on that moment. There you go. Tiffany Stratton retains her United States Championship, and thus adding more fuel to the fire of what will most likely be a Jade Cargill versus Charlotte Flair at SummerSlam. I'm feeling it. I see it. It looks like Charlotte Flair is going to be all right as far as her knee goes. And it gives her enough time to heal up with her knee, especially if she needs it, with SummerSlam a little over a month away. So yes, absolutely. And what comes next for Tiffany Stratton is a good question as far as that Women's United States Championship. We will see. But it seems like a team is starting to finally build up between Tiffany Stratton and Chelsea Green. But we will see. I will add that I feel that Tiffany Stratton versus Blake Monroe might actually happen since she debuted and went after Julia last night on SmackDown. So it's possible that could happen as well, but we will see. We got plenty of time before SummerSlam. With SummerSlam not until August, and we're just rolling up into July. So we got some time. We got a little over a month to see how things play out as we get to SummerSlam. But we move forward. Up next was the main event, Cody Rhodes versus Gunther versus Sami Zayn for the WWE Championship. Now, I'm going to read what I wrote here. So, there is nothing simple or easy about a triple threat. It is pure chaos from the moment the bell rang, and that is what this triple threat match was. It was pure chaos from inside the ring, outside the ring. You had two announcers tables gone. Two commentary tables, they were just gone. Just taken out of their misery. Gone. So, what came after that triple threat match was an incredible moment that we got as we're sitting there thinking, what is going to happen? We were rooting. We were praying for Sami Zayn. You get to that match thinking that maybe it's going to be Cody Rhodes, but it wasn't Cody Rhodes in that match. You thinking maybe Cody Rhodes, maybe Gunther, but no. The one constant in this match was Sami Zayn as he continued over and over again showing just how close he was coming. And my God, it happened. And in that match, there were so many moments where you thought, maybe that's it. Just like so many close moments. And I'm rambling on a little bit, but it happened. It finally happened. And this is one of the main reasons why I'm wearing this t-shirt, because it happened for Sami Zayn. He did it. And the excitement I had was matching the level of the excitement in that arena for all of Saudi Arabia. Watching Sami Zayn 10 years later, 10 tries later, finally becoming the new WWE champion, new WWE Undisputed Champion. Sami Zayn making his dreams come true and can finally forever call himself WWE Champion. It was a beautiful moment. I got a little teary-eyed. It was a Cinderella story. It was a moment that I think a lot of us could feel for those who were watching the Knicks win the NBA Finals. It had all of it. It was like the underdog from the underground, just like who he called himself when he started out at NXT. It almost had that same feeling to when Daniel Bryan won the WWE Championship, Undisputed Championship at WrestleMania 30. It was a good moment. It was a feel-good moment, and it was really good. I was really happy to see Sami Zayn finally get that win. And what comes next for Sami Zayn? Well, this is where we bring in Obafemi into the mix. Now, Obafemi is now King of the Ring. So Obafemi has a choice. He can face Roman Reigns for the WWE Championship, or he can face the newly won champion in Sami Zayn. Now, some people would say Obafemi can pick Sami Zayn. It's an easy win for him. But here's the thing. Excuse me. I don't think Obafemi is picking Sami Zayn. I think, and I feel that this is seeds that were planted that go all the way back to a post show at WrestleMania. I feel that Obafemi is absolutely going to pick Roman Reigns. It's there. It's the ruler versus the tribal chief. And the question really becomes for Obafemi, is Obafemi going to be working a double shift? And what I mean is that I still believe Brock Lesnar versus Obafemi is still going to happen at SummerSlam. And I'm saying that because I'm really starting to believe that the last professional broadcaster, Sam Roberts, is right about how Obafemi wins the King of the Ring and also face Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think when we look at SummerSlam, it is possible that Obafemi is working a double shift in which he's facing Roman Reigns for the for the World Heavyweight Championship and facing Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. I really believe that that is going to happen. That match needs to happen. We need closure in this. With these two are tied, So I feel like it's going to happen, and it's Brock Lesnar's hometown of Minneapolis, Minnesota. It would be a great place for it to end for Brock Lesnar, and we all want to see it again. So I believe it's going to happen at SummerSlam. Obafemi, Brock Lesnar, 3, SummerSlam, and Obafemi, Roman Reigns for the world title. I believe we're going to get that. And we obviously have to wait in the coming weeks to see how it all plays out, but I believe that is how it's going to go. And I'm looking forward to all of it. So before I go, one last thing. Now, during the post-show, Gunther confronted Nick Aldis, the general manager of SmackDown, about how he felt he got screwed once again out of the WWE Championship and putting all that blame on Nick Aldis, thinking that it's a conspiracy against him. But it's not. It was a fair match. It just went how it's a triple threat. It's chaos. Anybody can win at any time. And that's exactly what happened. Sami Zayn was in the right moment at the right time and won his first WWE Championship. But obviously Gunther was not happy with how that went down. So he confronted Nick Aldis about it, and it got heated very quickly. And they both put hands on each other. You had Gunther grab Nick Aldis' t-shirt. You had Nick Aldis push Gunther. You had Gunther push Nick Aldis. And my thing now about this is Nick Aldis has taken 2 RKOs from Randy Orton. And in that, I thought maybe Nick Aldis will get back in the ring gear and get into the ring. And we'll finally get Nick Aldis having a match in WWE. That wasn't the case. Now here we are again in that same kind of situation, but with Gunther. And as the career killer Gunther is, it makes me wonder if we're going to get a Nick Aldis, if this is all leading to Nick Aldis versus Gunther, or will cooler heads prevail kind of thing. We will see how that looks this Friday on SmackDown. But that'll do it for this result show. Quick reminder, tomorrow, new episode of Wrestling with Rumors will drop right here on this channel, Wrestling with Rumors channel. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and so you can keep up when everything new drops on this wrestling channel. Hit that thumbs up. Go ahead and leave a comment. But in the meantime and in between time, hope all you have a good, fun, and safe Saturday. We got a hell of a Sunday to look forward to tomorrow with Forbidden Door, with Slammiversary, with Great American Bash, whatever you're choosing. This coming Sunday, it's going to be a great Sunday for pro wrestling fans. But in the meantime and in between time, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you all on that next one. Peace, y'all.